Hello everyone, this is Claudia Lara and I'm here to review some makeup. I am 49 years old, almost 50. You can tell I left my white hairs. Anyhow, today I'm so excited, and the reason why I made this my second video is because tomorrow there's a launch of one of my favorites, one that I have almost all her collection, all her lip colors, or have lip pencils, glosses, blush, etc., highlighter, which is one of my favorites, Lisa. If you don't know her, Lisa Eldridge. She's a makeup artist. I think I used to know her biography a little better, but my memory is not that great all the time. I think she worked for Lancome for many years, or she still does. I'm in a creative artist, I guess, using the colors and things like that. I'm not in the makeup world, other than I'm an enthusiast and collect it. I just learned that word, that I'm a collector. I thought I just like it. And I mentioned in my first video why I call myself a collector, because before, I would go and choose the colors that will fit me, right? The colors that look great on me, the lipstick that will look good, the blush, etc. But nowadays I buy a full collection, and so it really doesn't matter how great or how bad it looks on me, but I just like the range. I think it's an art. I think I enjoy looking at the colors and the distinct, they call it undertones or mix or things like that. And so one of the YouTube videos that I watch is Lisa. I'm very bad with names, and of course I know her name very well, but Lisa Eldridge, thank you. So anyhow, she came up with her own makeup like 4 years ago, I think 2018. The time has flown since COVID, but I think like 4 or 5 years. And I was there from the start. She came out with 3 velvet lipsticks, which was the Velvet Jazz, Velvet Morning, and Velvet Ribbon. I am wearing Velvet Morning at this moment. So this is Velvet Jazz, and then this is Velvet Morning, which is what I'm wearing, and then this is Velvet Ribbon. Yes, all 3 reds. Let me put them side by side so you see. And so I bought the first launch, and then she came out with more spring colors, and then the next October she came out with a lot more colors, and then she came out with glosses, and then she came out with blush, and then she came out with a highlighter, illuminator, and I think now she's gonna come with a foundation. It's still not out, but she's coming out with it. She's already announcing. And then last time she came out with few lip liners. You had to buy the set, which came with the lip liner, the lipstick, and the gloss. And so I didn't buy them all because I own most of the lipsticks already. I didn't want to own 2 of them. And so you can see, let's see, I put some lipsticks on the yellow. So this is all hers. As you can see, I have most of her lipsticks. These are her blushes. I'm only missing 1, which sold out. Most of her blushes are sold out. But she's coming out and renewing all her lipsticks. Some of them are sold out, but tomorrow she's gonna fill up her inventory. That's what she does. I think in October and spring, those are the 2 times that she actually comes out with the product. So if he sells out, you have to wait until the next time. And so I think I own most of it. I think I might miss 1 lipstick, which was sold out. I think it was Cherry, something that came out last, and another peachy color from her first launch in spring, and she hasn't come back with it. But nevertheless, I have plenty. I mean, how many are this? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 3 times 7, 21 lipsticks I own. Oh my God. This is something else. But that's why I'm a collector. So I own 4 of her glasses, pink, peach, then a little bit more nude and a little bit more rose. They're called Affair, Blush, Go Lightly, and Charm. Go Lightly, the lipstick Go Lightly is the one I'm missing. I think I wrote in her Instagram, are you gonna come back with it? And she said next spring, but that next spring never came. She never came out with it. I don't know why. But on her new launch, not newest, the last one, she did come up with one color lipstick. I believe it's this Kitten Mischief. Oh no, I don't think it's, no, this doesn't look like it. It was, if it's not this one, let me see if I can come up with which one. Dance Card, maybe. That she said it was very, very similar to Go Lightly. It makes sense. You see? So it's not identical, but it's good enough. So I was happy about that. But in any case, so now you see that I have 21 of her lipsticks. They're all very different colors, very unique. So what can I tell you about her formula? Of course, you can see her video. She's very specific and explains very well. I just wanted you to see how it look in my coloring. You know, she has a very different coloring than I do. She probably I'm a little bit more fur than her, a little lighter, but she has those colorings that come more in the fall, you know, like browns will look good on her and things like that. And for me, I think I have more yellow undertone and winter colors look a little better. So when you try lipsticks or blushes, they just look a little different. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing these videos. I have a very hard time finding YouTubers that look like me, that have my coloring. There's a few that are fair. There's even fewer that have yellow undertone. And this, I'm very neutral. So I'm not very yellow and I'm not pink at all. Things that are more pinkish, they don't they don't do well on me, but pastels do well on me. And it's interesting because my sister, she's fair like me, but her undertone is very different. And even lipsticks, when we try it on her and we try it on me, the same lipstick, they look like a completely different color, which is very interesting. Also, I have found the color of your eyes or the color of your hair changes how a lipstick might look on you. Because I remember that many years ago, like 20 years ago, I colored my hair red. My hair was always very black, and I colored my hair red, and all the lipsticks I used to wear did not look great. They did not look good, and I had to purchase a different kind of a lipstick to go with the hair, which that surprised me because it was still a very dark sort of red. So I didn't think it would matter that much, but it does. And so that's why I'm here. Now you can see my coloring, if your coloring is the same as mine. The closest that I have seen, and is the one that I check the most, I mentioned it in the first video I made, Michelle Wong. If you haven't checked her channel, go ahead. And she's the closest that I have found that will, that the coloring, if it works for her, it works for me. Although she is a tiny little bit darker, she has brown eyes, which makes a little difference. And also, she likes a little tan sometimes. It's not that I don't like a little tan. Sometimes it just doesn't go well. I guess I have a little more cooler tone or something. And also, you know, those very pale lipsticks, to me, I think it washes me out quite a bit. Usually when I go out and I have bright lips, people are the days that they say, oh, you look great. I think just a brighter lip brings more light to my face or something like that, especially now that I'm leaving the white hairs. That took a lot of the contrast that I used to have with the black hair and the blue eyes and the white skin. And so usually a brighter lip is what compliments me. But you know, style is what goes with you. But it is true that nowadays, you know, with J-Lo coming up and Kim Kardashian and things like that, there's this style that came out very, you know, tan and you know, like beautiful kind of darker bronzer kind of skin. And for us, with fair skin is a little, it's not hard to do. I mean, I've seen some people that actually can make it work, but it's just not really the best look for you. I mean, the best look for you is when you emphasize, you know, your gifts or your things, and we all have some. And so, but nevertheless, you know, I feel like, oh, I want to be in style with the bronze and brown looks and things like that. So I do wear those colors, not my best colors, but I do wear them. Let's say fall colors, right? So I'm rambling. We're here for Lisa Eldridge. And I don't know why every time I say Lisa Eldridge, you know the singer, "Come to my window." What is it? It's very similar too. I'm very bad with names, you'll see. So how I'm gonna do a makeup video or a makeup channel is gonna be a challenge, but we'll do it. Anywho, so the reason you saw many lip liners that are not hers, this is her only one that I have, this one, which is the blush color. And because I mentioned about it in the set with the lipstick and the glass. But the reason I have these ones and I'm showing you these ones, even though are not hers, is because at the time she didn't have her own. And she recommended for each of her lipsticks a lip liner to go with it. And obviously she recommended different brands. She let me discover, I knew about Makeup Forever, of course I knew about their brand, but I didn't own maybe one of their lip pencils. She in there she recommended like 3 or 4, so I bought them. They're good. They're a little they're not super moisture. They're a little drier, firm, but they're pigmented, so they give a lot of precision. Perhaps that's why she likes it. She's very precise. So she's a makeup artist, by the way. She's done a lot of famous people. But she's very precise in her makeup. I mean, if you see her tutorials, it's always like perfect. I think she mentioned she's a Virgo. And I think Michelle Wang is also a Virgo. Maybe that's why they're so good in YouTube. I'm not a Virgo, so we'll try to get as organized as possible. I'm an Aries. All right, so she recommended some of this. I mean, this one also, Huda Beauty. You see this color? It was for one of her lipsticks. This is a very unique color. It's kind of not a fuchsia, but it has purple, but I don't know. I don't know why I have this straw in here. I have a straw. Look, it's almost, well, no, not really. This is more pink. Okay, never mind. Why do I have a straw there? I don't know. But, so, anyhow, that's why I had this one, because she's the one that recommended to go with her lipsticks when they first came out. So for the one I'm wearing, which is the Velvet Morning, which I love. This Velvet Morning, well, let me finish the thought. So she recommended to go with Bobbi Brown, the red. So I bought this one, and I like it because this red is, or this lip liner is one that would go with many reds, not just this one. So yeah, I mean, no, she did recommend other ones, but even for the other ones, I'm not very precise with this lip liner. I mean, unless I was gonna be in a magazine, which I'm not, or a picture or some specific thing, I would be more precise. But, you know, for my hangouts, it really doesn't matter. So sometimes I would use, you know, this just to line it. So when you lip line your lips, you can make them look a little fuller, and also you prevent, especially at my age, for the lipstick to start fading out side of the line. So using a lip liner is very useful. Sometimes I do it before the lipstick, which make it more long lasting. Sometimes I do it after, just to clean up or line up, or So sometimes I use the same red for many shades of red lipstick, and what I do is I just try to put the lipstick on top of it, so it kind of disguises if it was a little different. Yeah, it shifts the color if you want to be very, very, very detailed, but for the eye of the people surrounding you, they're not gonna notice, especially my husband, which he probably would not notice if I have a different shade of red altogether. But having said that, so right now I'm having the Velvet Morning, and what I wanted to say is this color really brings light or lift up, or I don't know if you know what I mean, in the sense there's some that kind of dull or bring down, and this red really brightens you up. So even if I have a different red, sometimes I would just pop a little bit of this morning one just to bring that brightness, which I truly enjoy. This Velvet Morning reminds me a lot. I mean, there's an iconic color. I have wear it for years, which is the Dior 999. It's a red, and I have it in big size. I have it in small size, and now I have it in the Dior Holiday Palette. And this is a very well loved. Yes, it's not the same at all. I mean, I get it. Maybe this is a little more like ribbon. But yeah, a little more like ribbon, which I will try in a little bit so you see. But the interesting part, and let's swatch it so you see. So I'm swatching. This is Lisa Eldridge Velvet Ribbon, and right next to it, this is Dior 999. So this is Dior 999. This is Lisa's ribbon. So very different colors. Yes, this one has a little more, what would you say, like pinkish, right? Like a little, the color is fading me. Berry. This one is a little more neutral, which is surprising because when I know 999, it always reminds me more of a more orangey to it. Do you see the orangey I'm talking about? So even though this might be similar, although now in camera they're not similar at all, but my point was, this Velvet Morning, the way I'm explaining that, sometimes I pull it out just to bring up a little bit light in my face, is the same thing that I felt this 999 used to do for me, which is this bringing this light to my face kind of thing. So in that sense, I mean, 999 is one of iconic, forever and ever and ever, super awesome colors. So the fact that I am even comparing this to Lisa's lipstick, I think is a compliment. However, Lisa's is very different lipstick. I mean, just here, if you see, the Dior is a little shinier. These ones are called velvet because if you notice, kind of the texture that appears is velvety. It's a very solid covers color. This has a little translucent. I mean, translucent, what I mean is a little transparency, meaning even if you build it up, obviously you'll see more of the color, more of that shiny, more of this, but it's still, there's a little faded transparency, and this one is very kind of matte, even though it's not matte color, but you know what I mean, smooth. Every time I have wore a Lisa lipstick, it doesn't matter what color, I have gotten compliments. I think is the fact that it's a very different texture. That's why they're called velvet, you know. So the texture in your lips looks very unique and different. The color really covers. And what I understand which is very little on makeup, but for hearing her speak, is that there's the undertones, but there's a lot of mixture of colors that bring that color together. And so the fact that it has many different faceted, you know, like a diamond, you know, when it has a lot of cuts, it makes all these little colors within that clearless, right? Or colorless. So I think lipsticks are a little bit that way. And I don't know if just lipsticks or makeup in general, because I see like Pat McGrath commercials or things like that. They always bring like this crystals or stones, beautiful, shiny, and they keep kind of circling with the light and seeing all the colors that come out. It reminds me of makeup. It reminds me of how you play with makeup, right? And how you always see people doing this, and I think it has to do with how the light hits it and the movement, and even like this. I mean, you see there at the edge, when, you know, when it starts faded or tinted, even like that, it just gives a different look. And so for some people that are scared of reds or very bold colors, you know, there's that technique where you plot it, or even like right now, so I'm wearing the morning red, but let's say this Kleenex tissue is kind of dirty, but let's say you know, you kind of fade it up a little bit. And of course, if you add a different color, let's say, I have Velvet Muse, which, well, this looks a little plummy, but let's put a little bit, just for fun, right? But if I wanted to bring it down, you see, wow. I mean, that just makes an amazing thing. Did you see that? My lips is, and this is interesting. Lisa Eldridge, when she talks about how she made all these colors and things like that, she always brings the inspiration to paintings, and she's a lot into vintage. She's a collector, but a real collector. The one that not just buys what's out there right now, but the ones that buys like what was there 50 years ago and the old cases of makeup and things like that. So she's like the real thing. But she always looks at these older paintings, and I'm talking sometimes a century ago, to get inspired about her colors. And I don't know if you can tell, I never mixed these two colors. I'm just playing here with you. And if she probably saw me, she probably will be not happy with me, because what happens is now I'm staining this bullet. It's okay. I'll clean it next time. And the other thing I wanted to show you is, look, I don't know if you can tell, the bullet itself is very velvety. But what I mean is, I think you know what I mean, and I think you've seen what I mean. The morning, velvet morning, how bright it was, like maybe in your face for a morning meeting at work. But just putting this Muse, which is a very toned down, let me clean that up because then I'll forget. So, all right, cleaned, okay? That you bring it down a little bit, and then for sure you can, I will go in a morning meeting at the office like this, bright and shine, you know, when you walk in the meeting, you're like, how's everybody? Had your coffee? Bright and shine and bright, or however you say. Anyway, well, funny enough, I have coffee. It's not morning, but I have coffee. So some people might say, well, but then you use 2 lipsticks instead of 1. And I said, yeah, well, that's the whole point, right? That's the whole fun of creating your own unique lipstick. The one that people would say, oh my God, I love your lipstick. And you're like, great. And they're like, which one is it? I'm like, well, it's like 2 or 3 maybe. And it depends what lip liner you pick up that morning. And really, your mood. Anyhow, continuing. So let's say you're like that. Let's do another experiment. Is it too much? Put a little bit of that, a little bit of that. Oh, now I know what I want to show you. So, because this one is an interesting thing, and I love the color, because when you start seeing things like she does in a painting, and you start seeing like the Chinese paints that she shows, or the flowers, you know, from a certain season, and how they show in the different shades and everything, you start falling in love with the colors. And you kind of forget how they look with your skin and how you look with your eyes, and how if it's really a color that you want. At least that's what's happened to me. That's why I own the 21 colors. So this dragon color, I mean, do you see? And if you see her videos or her Instagram, you'll see the paintings that, if I find it, I'll try to put a picture here. I'm new, so I'll learn if I can plug it somewhere in the screen. But if you think of the color only, this is like she describes, like it's just very romanticized on that zone. She called it dragon, and I totally could see an oriental painting. You know, like geishas. I know geishas, well, geishas is supposed to be a prostitute. People say don't even go there, don't even mention it. But let's look at it in the side of geishas were also very educated, and very artistic, and very creative. And they were very big into makeup, of course. And so, in that sense, this color is just, I mean, a kimono with this, the white face, it's just, if you go there artistically. So let's try a little bit. Now, this is what I mean. This kind of color will bring you more in that, I don't know if I call it melancholic or very fall. Keep going with the fall, because it's not a winter color. I think the one she's coming out tomorrow, which I'm gonna buy, they're coming more in my coloring, more towards, yeah, my coloring, not so the brown fall. I mean, she can clear me out about this. She probably knows a lot more about colors and their significance. But going back about Velvet Dragon, let's see. I'm gonna put it on top and see if you can see what I mean, which is more fall. Oh, I mean, you cannot deny the beauty of this. Look at this. You see? Oh, I'm in love with this, with this mixture. And what did I use? I used the Morning, I used the Muse, and I used the Dragon. Look at that. I think I like this combo better than just Dragon by itself, and I'll tell you why. Because first is the Morning Velvet, which, like I said, brings a lot of light to my face. And then I tone it down a little bit to a little muted, a little. And now I bring back that red, but in a subtle way. Do you agree with me? Oh, let me know. Please let me know. And now I know that in the camera, colors look very much specific than in real life. In real life, you might say, red, da da da. I mean, you can tell the difference, but I'm saying when I look at YouTube videos, I can really tell the difference between one color and the other. If you have more berry, more pink, that's why I spend hours looking at them. But in real life, red is red, right? So this video is going on now long, and I wanted to show you all the colors, so maybe I'm gonna do a part 2. But I thought this was unique, mixing lipsticks. I haven't seen a video about mixing them. And I also wanted to try some of the blushes. Well, tomorrow she's not gonna come with blushes. She didn't have the inventory, so forget about that. Let me just do one more, which is the one I wanted to compare the Dragon with, which is the Carnival. Oh no, never mind. Carnival is pink. lovely color. I have used this quite a bit. I love it. But no, the dragon was the right choice. And then on the next one, I will try all three, the lip liner, the lipstick, and the gloss of blush, which is when I bought all three, and is one of my favorite colors. And the reason this is important, I'll start the part 2 with this, is because she's coming with this color, but a little lightly. I think just call it a blush lightly. So Velvet Blush Lightly, this is Velvet Blush. And I agree with her 100%. Because I love this color, and sometimes I wish it was just a little lighter. And I guess she heard those comments from other people because she's coming up with that. So if you like what you've seen here and you want to see, I'm going to show you all the colors, which I was supposed to. Connect with me on the part 2, and we'll start with that. And I'll also will show you her illuminator, which I love. And I'll have a little comparison with Chanel, with Westman Atelier, and with others that perhaps have the same, but this is very particular. So you will use it for very specific, and I do use it. So come with me. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed, please do it. And please comment below what you think, what you thought of the combinations, what you think of Lisa Eldridge. And I'll see you in a little bit. Bye.